What is up, everybody? I am back with another video, and first of all, I just want to say I am sorry for the lack of MLB content. I was really enjoying Ghost of Tsushima, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content for it, but I really do need to get back in my niche, back into MLB. This is what the team is looking like. We've made a few changes. We sold Molina for some stubs. Same thing with Musial. And the pitching, the tiny boomer, just ignore him for right now. You may see him appear in the bullpen later. I may try to do the Darren O'Day 7-foot, 100-mile-an-hour guy with the slider, but we'll see how that goes. This is what the bench is looking like. Everything is looking pretty solid. Mondesi is the pinch runner right now, and as you can see, I have gotten my butt grinding these events, and that has gotten me some decent stubs. Now I actually make a video soon on the best way to make stubs in MLB The Show right now. But that's not what this video is talking about. This video is talking about some tips to make World Series, and celebrating that I made World Series. I was super hyped. I got into a game with a guy. First inning, I hit 3 bombs off of him, and I guess he was like, screw it, no more. Put up the white flag and just quit. And I was like, dang, I thought I was going to have to score a ton of runs on somebody to make them quit a World Series game. Maybe they already made World Series and they just weren't up for it that night. Whatever it was, I'm glad, because I am now in World Series. I also, here, I'm just doing this exchange super quick so I can just get some free stars. But, what I was doing was I got the pack with, I went ahead and picked Vlad and I sold him. Now, as you can see my stub total, I am saving up a ton of stubs for the Mikey Trout. I am super hyped to do a debut for him, and I'm super hyped to play with him for you guys. This card is going to be insane. But trying not to drag out the video any farther than I already kind of have. Some tips for World Series and how to get there. Well, first of all, I would recommend Control Freaks. No, of course I'm not sponsored. I basically have I don't have 400 subs quite yet. Go like, go sub, please get me there. Anyway. But Control Freaks are really great. I have the purple galaxies right now. I have the one mid-rise and the one high-rise. So the mid-rise I really like for my left stick, my PCI placement. I know a lot of YouTubers, a high-rise on the left stick is what they really like for PCI placement, and then they'll actually move it over to the pitching stick for pure analog. And now I do like the high rise for pure analog pitching. I'm not a huge fan of it on hitting. I just feel like it's too high. So I really do recommend medium rise on the hitting on the left analog where you're moving your zone. And on the right analog stick, I would recommend using the high rise to get that precise pure analog pitching. Now, as you can see, my second tip here is learn your pitchers. Now, what I mean by that is I have certain pitchers here with Hal Newhouser, with Edwin Diaz, Chapman, Hanky sometimes, even though Hanky's pretty accurate. Usually, and definitely Wagner. I'm always using analog with all these guys. Now, Hershiser, Maddox, Paxton. Sorry, I'm yawning a ton right now. These guys, I'm using Pulse now. I know a lot of people are not big fans of Pulse. I really like Pulse. I think it's solid. I think that it's a good pitching method if you can hit your spots right and you can get the Pulse small every time. As I see it, there are 2 pitching methods that are viable to use at high level. I would say Pulse, and I would say Pure Analog. Pure Analog is definitely hit or miss. You're either going to hit a dot, or you're going to throw it right down the middle, and it's going to get crushed. And with guys like Oral, Maddox, and Paxton, and Kluber, all four of these guys. If you miss down the middle with a sinker, or in Paxton's case, a fastball, that thing is going to be crushed to the moon. So I really, really, really wouldn't recommend doing that. That is not good. So I would recommend Pulse, because Pulse, you're not going to hit nearly as many dots as you are with analog, but you are going to throw with guys like 95 base on balls per nine with Prestige Hirsch, Prestige Maddox 108 base on balls per nine, Prestige Paxton 97, Kluber has 95. You know, these high base on balls per nine guys are really going to have those pulse zones a lot smaller, so they're going to definitely be easier to use when you're trying to pitch with Pulse. Jake McGee is one of those guys that I like with Pulse. Raleigh, you can really go either way. Right now, I've been pitching with analog, and I do like his motion, and I think he's freaking really hard to hit. I swear, if I yawn one more time, I'm sorry. Rivera is definitely one who you're going to try to go to Pulse with, because he has 108 base on balls per nine, which is the same as Eckersley, and Eckersley is like the most accurate pitcher in the game besides like Greg here. But yeah, know your pitchers, know which ones you're going to use analog on. Billy Wagner, Chapman, Diaz, those are all guys that I'm always using analog on. And then on the starting pitcher side, Hal Newhouser is definitely one that I'm always using analog on. Usually I say the less accurate guys, you're going to go for those, you're going to go for the analog, because when you have the less accurate guys, all of these guys have in common, he can throw 101, 102, Chapman can throw 102, Diaz, I believe, yeah, Diaz can hit 100, Wagner can also hit 100, you know, these guys throw really hard and they have nasty breaking stuff, so the accuracy, or the walks per nine, is going to be their weakness. And I mean, if you pipe one down the middle, it's probably still getting crushed, but you have a better chance of keeping it in the ballpark at least, instead of piping one down the middle with Maddox, who throws like a 93. You know, so yeah, know your pitchers. And then another tip with your pitchers, because pitching is a huge part of this game that I think is really underrated. I think pitching is almost more important than hitting, just because you need to be able to hold leads. Because on Legend and on Hall of Fame not so much, but on Legend, dude, if you have a lead and somebody's pitching well, you know, you need to keep that lead. You need to have a pitcher's duel with them, and a lot of pitcher's duels do happen at Hall of Fame and Legend. So I would say, on top of knowing your pitchers, pitch with who you like. Now, this is to an extent. A lot of people say that they hate Prestige Greg Maddox, or they hate Greg Maddox. They don't like him. He throws way too slow. He's not that accurate. His motion isn't that blah, 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 whatever. I love him. I love the card. I think he's... I don't know if I'd say he's better than Prestige Hirsch. He's definitely better than Prestige Kluber. He's definitely better than Paxton and Newhouser. I love him. He's such a great card that the curveball catches people off guard non-stop. It is disgusting. He has a great pitch mix. That cutter sinker combo is just brutal. And then if you throw in a four seam, you're bowling it right by him. The changeup, curveball, everything's super accurate as well. Good per nines. Awesome stamina. This card is really awesome, and I believe it has losing energy at a low rate, and it recovers energy at a high rate. That's two pretty insane perks to have when you have 124 stamina. Now, yes, I listen to the community a lot. I try to say, if the community's all against somebody, I'm like, okay, I'm probably not going to go ahead and try that. But I've heard a lot of negative things about this card, and I've had nothing but positive results. I mean, these stats are a little bit... I mean, I've been playing, 14 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts. I mean, yes, he has the 10 ERA, but that's just really because I've been pitching him in event games to scare people and try to get them to quit. So that has no reflection on his actual ranked seasons. His ranked seasons debuts and stuff, and his ranked seasons actual games. But yeah, just go with who you feel comfortable with, who you feel confident with getting wins. Because honestly, it doesn't matter if the community likes your team. It doesn't matter. I have a buddy who bunts against the shift, who bunts all the time. If that's what's gonna get you wins and get you to World Series, you need to do that. Um, and really, same thing goes with your hitters. You want to have a solid team, but you also want to have guys like Robbie Cano. Robbie Cano, everybody likes. So, I mean, I don't know. He's definitely not a disliked player in the community. But like guys with super glitchy swings, like I mean Bellinger has a great swing, Cano has a great swing, Biggio, Walker, Mantle, all those guys, Trout. Just play with who you're comfortable with. I told my dad, I'm like, the whole community doesn't really like this Griffey card. You can try him out if you want. He has pretty good defense for left field. His power is outstanding, but his contact is just really underwhelming, especially with that vision. And he's like, yeah, I put all these stubs into this collection just because I like Griffey and I don't really care. And he is hitting amazing with this card. This is probably the best hitter on his team, and he has Prestige Mantle. And it's really just some guys click with certain guys. I mean, you look at Kevin. Kevin doesn't use the best cards in the game, and he uses Pablo Sandoval behind the plate. But he finds a way to get it done because he likes that swing. He likes Pablo. And, same thing, Eddie at third base for him. It's just, it's starting Eddie over Prestige Sheffield. I actually don't know if he has Prestige, but over Sheffield in general is just kind of crazy in my opinion because, I mean, I love Sheffield. He's great. But, for Kevin, Eddie hits better for him. And, that's something that we kind of gotta, you gotta know your team and you gotta be confident with your team. Now, the last tip that I would really suggest for you guys, and I think the biggest tip for World Series is go watch hitting tips videos. I really like my hitting tips videos. I have 2 of them right now, I believe, and they really go over all you need to know. They will be, I mean, they're pretty recent videos, so if you scroll back a few and you'll find them right away. How to hit like a god, and MLB The Show, and hitting tips or whatever. Watch not just mine. Watch as many videos as you can because you're gonna see some of my settings, some of the things I do, some of the things I use, and you might say, okay, I like that. I'm gonna try that out. Some of that may work, some of that might not work. So if you take a little bit from my videos, let's say you take a little bit from Kevin's videos, a little bit from Magunsky or whatever, all these different YouTubers, and you kind of have your own setup, your own settings that you like, your own way to warm up. Warming up is also a pretty big, it gets you ready for the game. I don't really know what word I really wanted to say there, but it's really important to warm up because warming up in the first few innings is not the place to do that. That's where you should be scoring some runs, getting on top of them, stepping on their throats, if you know what I'm saying. Now, that's about it. That's my full guide. It's not too crazy. There's nothing that you wouldn't really expect, but just focusing on a few different things with being comfortable with your team and knowing your pitchers and then warming up and watching as many hitting tips videos and pitching tips and just getting as much from certain content creators to overall improve your game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope this helps you get to World Series and get Mr. Eddie Matthews or Vlad Guerrero. I don't know why you'd want George Foster or Pedroia, but I mean, if you do, knock yourself out. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But last time, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.